सेव किया था ना?
मैं सिर्फ इसलिए गया था क्योंकि उसने मुझे कॉल किया, that's it. But listen तो.
Save it for someone else.
जिंदगी में सेव करना जरूरी है, मगर जब बात पैसों की हो सिर्फ सेविंग से काम नहीं चलेगा। इक्विटी म्यूचुअल फंड्स में इन्वेस्ट कीजिए और अपने सेविंग्स को आगे बढ़ने का मौका दीजिए।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.
We are talking about Madhya Pradesh politics today. It's a state heading for elections, as we know, one of the 5 states. It also has a contingent of 29 MPs in National Parliament in Lok Sabha. For BJP, it's very critical because this is among the states that BJP maxes out under Prime Minister Modi. So last general elections, 2019, BJP won 28 out of 29. The only one seat BJP did not win was won by Congress leader Kamal Nath's son in Chhindwara. That is Kamal Nath's pocket borough. Kamal Nath is now leading the Congress party's charge in the state. He was chief minister sort of briefly for a year, and then his government was pulled down through Operation Kamal or Operation Lotus by the BJP. Right now, he's leading the Congress campaign, and at this moment, from everything that's coming out of Madhya Pradesh, it looks like BJP is looking at some challenge, some trouble. At least the BJP now knows it's not going to be a cakewalk. Rahul Gandhi has said that, look, I'm sure that I'm winning Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. Rajasthan is tough. Telangana, I think he said we had a chance. But Madhya Pradesh is what Congress feels most confident about. Madhya Pradesh is what BJP worries about. And what is the evidence that BJP feels worried? I'm not giving you a pundit's gyan by saying I believe BJP is worried. I'm only cut the clutter, only looks at facts and analyzes those for you, and also tries to pull out some nuggets from those facts in terms of indicators of what this means in this case for a forthcoming election. Now Madhya Pradesh, 29 seats in Lok Sabha. Those seats are not on the line right now. That will happen 6 months later. But right now the state, it's a very important state in the Hindi-heartland. 2018 BJP had lost it briefly. The state has 230 members in its assembly. Halfway mark is 116. In the last election, it was widely expected that Congress party will win a majority because Shivraj Chauhan's government was coming with a triple anti-incumbency. The odds were that Congress will win, but Congress did sort of win, but a very narrow points victory. Congress got 114 seats, so fell too short of the majority mark. BJP got 109 seats, so fell 7 short of the majority mark. Even then, Kamal Nath was able to get support from here and there and rig together a government, but that government was always going to be skating on thin ice, and soon enough, in fact, just on the eve of the first COVID lockdown, the BJP pulled down that government and installed Shivraj Singh Chauhan there. Now, what exactly is the BJP doing right now that gives us the indication so we can say with some degree of confidence that BJP really looks worried about the state? So BJP has just announced its second list of candidates. First list was 39, second list is 39 again. That is 78 in all. I told you that the total number of candidates in Madhya Pradesh, total number of seats in Madhya Pradesh is 230. So there is still some distance to go. The first list of 39 was only for seats which the BJP had lost in the last election. So if you lost those seats, it's a wise thing to begin early, so you have your candidates, they can start working. So even if you lose, even if you win 10, 15, 20 of them, that's a net gain. The second list is more interesting and more complex and also more indicative of the BJP High Command's mood. In the second list, BJP has thrown in 3 union ministers and 4 other MPs. That means 7 elected MPs in Lok Sabha have been thrown in by the BJP in Madhya Pradesh state assembly election. That is really stooping to conquer, right? You have MPs, and MP election is a much bigger election. You are getting sitting MPs to contest now for assembly elections. What's it telling you? It's telling us that the BJP now is quite desperate that they must win a majority in the state. They can't afford to lose the state, and for that purpose, if need be, they will throw the kitchen sink at this election. Or maybe a better metaphor is that they will pull out their Maharathis or their stalwarts from wherever, even if they are in national politics, and bring them back to the state. This has many implications, and I will come to that. But importantly, who are the people who've been thrown in the second list? Remember, this is only 78. So another 152 seats are yet to go. So we don't know what else will the BJP do with those seats. Now, 3 union ministers are the most important. There is a cabinet minister, that is Narendra Singh Tomar. Narendra Singh Tomar is the agriculture minister, union agriculture minister, taken quite seriously, a good minister, also a substantive figure in the BJP. He now has to contest in the state assembly from Dimani constituency. Then there is Minister of State Prahlad Singh Patel, again seen to be very close to the party high command. He's going to be contesting from Narsinghpur. And then Fagan Singh Kulaste, who's a tribal. Remember, his name had come up in the cash for vote scam during the vote of confidence on the nuclear deal. So Fagan Singh Kulaste, he will be contesting from Nivas, which is the reserved seat reserved for scheduled tribes. So these are the 3 ministers, 1 full cabinet minister, 2 ministers of state. Besides these, there are 4 sitting MPs, 4 sitting Lok Sabha members, that is Rakesh Singh, Ganesh Singh, Uday Pratap Singh and Riti Pathak. Riti Pathak is the most important here. Why? She is the sitting MP from Sindhi. But the important thing is she has been asked now to contest for the state assembly from constituency called Sindhi. Why did we say this is the most significant of the 4 MPs besides the 3 ministers? The most significant of the 3 MPs, Sindhi is the seat where the sitting BJP MLA, that's Kedarnath Shukla, has been denied the ticket. Now, he's been denied the ticket. Nobody states this, but everybody understands that the reason he's been denied the ticket is that one of his closest aides, that is Pravesh Shukla, was the man who was seen allegedly, if you choose to put it that way, who was seen allegedly urinating on a tribal called Dashmat Rawat. That had become a nationwide scandal. BJP was really rattled because BJP really relies on the tribal vote in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand, to an extent Rajasthan, because if the tribal vote goes away, then BJP suffers really badly. So BJP did a lot of course correction, cases were filed, arrests were made. Now, because Pravesh Shukla was caught in this, his mentor, who is the sitting Sindhi MLA Kedarnath Shukla, he's been denied the ticket. And Riti Pathak, the sitting MP from Sindhi, has been given the ticket. That's not made Kedarnath Shukla happy. So you see that some of these BJP local leaders who now think that they are being sidelined, either because the party is bringing central leaders to contest from their seats, or the party is forcing some of them to contest in the assembly. I will come to that also. The case I am referring to, and I will come to it in some more detail, is Kailash Vijayvargiya, who is a National General Secretary of the BJP, and he's now also been told to contest in the state assembly, something that he doesn't like. So first of all, let's look at what Kedarnath Shukla is saying. Kedarnath Shukla denied the ticket from his pocket borough of Sindhi. So he now has to campaign for Riti Pathak, the MP from Singrauli, in his own constituency, assembly constituency of Sindhi. And look at what he's saying. He's saying, I am her mentor. I've been looking after her. I mentored her from Zilla Parishad right up to Lok Sabha elections. She has no workers here. Now she's been given a ticket. I don't know who proposed her name. She has no workers in this place. She does not know a single person here and has not spent 100 rupees on this constituency. How come she's been given the ticket? But once again, the party sees winning of these seats as the most important thing right now, because they see a real challenge. Now, the subtext to all this in Madhya Pradesh is that the party is still not willing to say that Shivraj Singh Chauhan is going to be their leader, and if they get a majority, is going to be chief minister. They haven't said it from day one. In fact, you can see that they sort of swallowed a bitter pill while agreeing to give him the chief ministership once they had pulled down Kamal Nath's government through Operation Kamal, which basically meant taking out of the Congress party the faction led by Jyotiraditya Scindia. That was 22 MLAs. That reduced the Congress into a minority, and that gave BJP the majority in the state assembly. Now, they did not have any candidate at that time for chief minister, so they most reluctantly gave it to Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Why do we say they did it reluctantly? Because for a long time, they did not even let him expand the cabinet. So he continued working in the strength of one for quite some time. So it looked like the party had given it to him, but they were not really happy with him. And that situation has continued. Now, if you see rallies that are taking place in Madhya Pradesh, Prime Minister is addressing a lot of the rallies, and you can see the Prime Minister's keenness on Madhya Pradesh, because this is where he also unleashed that attack on the Congress party, saying that the party is now run by urban Naxals. That is the kind of language that the Prime Minister would usually use in tough elections, so elections that he really wants to win. Although I will qualify that by saying, and I'm sure some people will immediately jump at me by asking, is there any election that the BJP does not take seriously? But Madhya Pradesh in this case has become a very desperate situation because they don't want to lose it. Madhya Pradesh has been the biggest citadel of the BJP. In fact, much before Gujarat became such a strong BJP fortress, Madhya Pradesh had that status right from the days of the Bharatiya Janasangh. So they don't want to lose that state. Also, it's a key Hindi-heartland state. Now, 4 things stand out of what is happening in Madhya Pradesh from all these indications. Number 1, this is really crowding out CM aspirants, or it's giving us a crowd of CM aspirants. So I told you about Narendra Singh Tomar. If he gets elected in the state, right, will he then work under someone else's chief ministership, or will he expect to be chief minister? If Kailash Vijayvargiya gets elected in the state assembly, will he then agree to work under someone else as a minister in the cabinet, or will he want to be chief minister? And similarly, there are others as well. Prahlad Patel, Fagan Singh Kulaste, all of the others have also their caste and vote bank claims as well. So in the middle of all this will also be Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Now we know that a Lok Sabha MP getting elected in the state doesn't necessarily mean, in the BJP scheme of things, that that member will then give precedence to their Vidhan Sabha membership. We have at least one case of a BJP leader called Pratima Bhaumik in Tripura. She's a minister of state at the center. She was made to contest for state assembly in the last assembly elections. But the fact is that once BJP itself won a majority, they let her retain her Lok Sabha seat, and then they held a by-election in the state assembly, which they won conveniently. So it's also quite possible or plausible that BJP might say, if they win with a comfortable majority, that you guys don't have to stay in the state, you can stay in Lok Sabha. Whereas in the state, we can hold a by-election. That is if the BJP wins a comfortable majority. But nobody knows what will happen. This challenge in Madhya Pradesh looks much tougher than it might have looked for the BJP in Tripura. So right now, the BJP is playing with all the devices available to it, and it's putting out all the talent available to it to win these seats, because it wants to win these seats in Madhya Pradesh. Now, how much of a pressure does it put on BJP's leaders? So I told you what Kedarnath Shukla said about his seat being given away to the sitting MP there, but also Kailash Vijayvargiya. Kailash Vijayvargiya, he is usually a very expressive and vocal politician, speaks a lot. So I have what he said. In fact, I have written it out in Hindi for you, and I will read it out for you, because this is really coming from his heart. He's been given Indore 1 to contest from. He says, मैं अंदर से खुश नहीं हूँ. I'm not happy from inside. क्योंकि मेरी लड़ने की इच्छा नहीं थी, बिकॉज आई हैड नेवर इंटेंडेड टू कंटेस्ट. 1% भी इच्छा नहीं थी. आई डिड नॉट इंटेंड टू कंटेस्ट इवन 1%. एक माइंडसेट होता है ना लड़ने का. देयर इज ए माइंडसेट व्हेन यू डिसाइड दैट यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू कंटेस्ट नाउ. बड़े नेता हो गए हैं. I have become a big leader now. You become a big leader. हाथ जोड़ने कहाँ जाएंगे? Where will I go with folded hands asking for votes? I become a big leader. तो भाषण देना और निकल जाना, यही सोचा था. So I thought I will just give speeches and go on my way. In fact, I thought, he says, I will do 8 rallies a day 5 by helicopter and 3 by car. So exactly his lines. हमने तो प्लान बनाया था कि रोज 8 सभा करनी है इस पूरे चुनाव में, 5 हेलीकॉप्टर से और 3 कार से. And then he goes on to say, पर आप जो सोचते हैं वो होता कहाँ है. He's turning philosophical and he says you can imagine things, you can have your hopes, but it doesn't always turn out that way. जो ऊपर वाला चाहता है वही होता है जो मंजूर खुदा होता है. That this I am adding, but basically whatever God wills happens. So anything that you might have planned for yourself doesn't work out. So it's a philosophical note, but you can see that he's not happy with this. And also the party knows that their preeminent leader in the state, who was given charge of West Bengal earlier, is a very vocal leader. He's being thrown in the fray like this. That also tells you how keen and how desperate the party is to win this seat. Now, 4 points from this I will draw. One, I told you earlier that this is creating a crowd of chief ministerial aspirants. So suppose all of these people win. The state already has 3 or 4 chief ministerial aspirants, particularly the Home Minister Narottam Mishra. In this case, it could have 5, 6, 7. So this really creates a much bigger trouble for the serving chief minister and in a way undermines him. Now, if you see these rallies in Madhya Pradesh, he actually takes a lot of time praising the prime minister in a manner that I mean, everybody praises the prime minister in the BJP, but just in the colorfulness of the language, etc., he's of a different category. So he's trying, but he's going to have a lot of competition. And he's going to worry because it's not the method of the BJP High Command to have strong state leaders. So one, crowded list of CM aspirants. Number 2, why is Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah and JP Nadda, why are they risking putting so many MPs in an assembly election? Because they think that in Lok Sabha election, MP candidates do not matter in the Hindi-heartland. Candidates do not matter in the sense that vote is given for Narendra Modi. So when Narendra Modi is himself on the ticket, who's my MP candidate does not matter, because at least in the Hindi-heartland states, Narendra Modi can hold or can manage or swing a lamppost election. A lamppost election is when you say, who's your candidate? And you say, this lamppost is my candidate. And people vote for the lamppost. So he's capable, his party thinks he's capable of holding or swinging a lamppost election in the Hindi-heartland. Madhya Pradesh is very much a part of that. So even if he loses 6, 7 of these MPs to state assembly, if it helps him get a majority back or brings him close to a majority, then he'd rather keep them there. He can have other candidates in the Lok Sabha election. Third thing, it's an Operation Kamal state. I told you last election, out of 230 seats, Congress got 114, BJP got 109. So BJP was 7 short. So once again, BJP used Operation Kamal to pull down the Congress government and to win over 22 MLAs of the Jyotiraditya Scindia faction to join them, and that's how they formed the government. Now, wherever the BJP has an Operation Kamal government, it creates its own problems, as we saw in Karnataka. What it does is, people who come in from outside, those people are the favored ones because they get whatever favors they get or goodies they get for joining, leaving their party and joining you. Second, they also get ministries. And third, if there were any cases against them, those cases also disappear, as we might have seen in Maharashtra most recently. Now, those who've stayed in the BJP as loyalists for a long time, they start feeling rotten. They are loyal to the party, but they start feeling rotten, thinking that, look, this guy has come from outside. He's not from my ideology. But these guys who come from outside, not from my ideology, they have the money now. They have the ministries now. They are pampered now. My chief minister has more time for them than he has for us. That's precisely what happened in Karnataka. And some of that's playing out. In fact, a lot of that is playing out in Madhya Pradesh also now. So the originals in the BJP will feel rotten. They are human beings. Why should they not feel rotten? So they are feeling upset about this, and that is leading to dissidence. And then we come to the fourth issue. The fourth issue is, again, Operation Kamal. It comes from Operation Kamal. It creates a surplus candidates problem, particularly in this case in the Gwalior belt, that is Jyotiraditya Scindia's belt, Gwalior, Guna, Morena, areas like that. Now there, BJP had its own candidates. BJP has had its own people working these constituencies for a very long time. Some might have won these constituencies in the past. People who came in with Jyotiraditya Scindia, they have to be given their seats. If they get their seats, and what happens to the BJP guys who've been nursing these seats for a very long time, that is what can then lead to rebel candidates and other complications. So this is where the BJP stands right now. Also, I will share with you a story that my colleagues had done on Madhya Pradesh, showing how in 46 seats, that is exactly 1/5 of all the seats in the last election, 2018 election, the winning candidate had won by less than 3% vote. So 46 seats were actually decided by a very small number of votes. Again, if you cut it further, you can see the chart on your screens. If you cut it further, 17 of these seats were won by less than 1% vote, 13 by between 1 and 2% votes, and 16 by 2 to 3% votes. What this tells you is that too many seats in Madhya Pradesh were decided by a very small margin. And these are the seats where both sides will think that they have a chance. So I'm also sharing with you a list of the 17 seats where the winning margin was less than 1%, that marginal. And once again, the obvious question you will ask me is, who won more of these seats? Once again, there's dead heat because Congress won 9 of these 17, BJP won 8 of these 17. So this is a very closely fought election, or this is turning out to be very closely fought election. And that's where, if your own house is not in order, if you have internal dissensions, or if you have a divided house, it makes for a much tougher contest for you. That is the problem the BJP is dealing with in Madhya Pradesh right now, and their immediate response to this is to basically pull out all their stalwarts, even if they find them sitting comfortably in the government in Delhi, including a sitting cabinet minister with a key portfolio, and sending them to the state to say, look, you are party people, for heaven's sake, try and win this election for us.